Okay, so let's get straight into the question. Are Rottweilers good with children? And the answer to that is yes. However, there are a couple things that need to be thought about to really answer that question. Has that Rottweiler been socialized? Do you have supervision over that Rottweiler? Have you taken the proper steps to ensure that the Rottweiler is good around children? So, the first thing is going to be socialization. Your Rottweiler, preferably at a younger age in its life, it needs to be socialized. It needs to be able to see everything in the world at a young age, so when it's an adult, it'll be able to handle certain situations like children. So, I have two children. I have one boy, one girl, and my Rottweiler was introduced to my daughter at a very young age. My daughter was 4.5 to 4 years old, and that was a great way of my dog being able to be around children. My dog Xena was around my daughter every day of her life for the most part. So when Xena was around other children in the park, or other family members came over, it was, my dog was fine with being around younger children because my dog got older and my dog was used to being around my daughter. That helped tremendously with the socialization of my dog being able to, be well with other children. So socialization is extremely, extremely important. You want to be able to have a puppy or have a dog and be able to introduce that dog to children at a young age, so later in life you won't have any issues. So the second thing to ensure and support that Rottweilers are good with children is going to be supervision. You want to always make sure that your children are supervised. Me personally, I always have supervision over my children, regardless if there's a dog around or not. That's just me as a parent. Most parents are like that. However, when you have a Rottweiler in particular, you want to always make sure that supervision is number one at that time. Reasons are, for example, a child may accidentally, grab the tail of a Rottweiler, or, play a little too rough. Or on the opposite side, Rottweilers, they're really big breeds. So they may, accidentally, bump or push, your small child by accident. However, if you're there being a mediator and being able to supervise and, jump in and say, hey, you guys are doing too much. For an example, is 4 years old, so, they play around a lot. And sometimes, I have to just tell them, hey, you guys are making too much noise. Little stuff like that. But it's just supervision. I never want to leave my Rottweiler and my children unattended, unsupervised, under no circumstances. Now, as my daughter gets older and as she has gotten older, the supervision has been a little bit less strict. However, I'm still always present. I'm still always around. So supervision is key in ensuring that the Rottweiler are good with children, because you want to always be able to create a safe environment for your children and your dog. So, newborns. Newborns are children. They are kids. However, I took extra precaution for my newborn, my son, when he was born. I had two Rottweilers. Xena, she was an adult, and Rocco, he was about 5 to 6 months. So what I did was I slowly introduced my son to my Rottweilers to ensure familiarization, to ensure that they're familiar with a baby, because they haven't seen a baby yet, a newborn baby. They've never seen that in their lives. So I took the proper precautions. So for an example, my son, after he was born, newborns usually spend about 48 hours in the hospital before they're discharged. So within those 48 hours after my son was born, several times a day, I left the hospital, I came back home, and I came back home with my son's blanket and my son's hat, or, maybe a t-shirt that he's worn, and I let my dogs be able to smell it, not play with it, that's a big difference, but at least smell it, get familiar with the scent of my newborn son. And I did that about 3-4 times a day, within those 48 hours, each time I came back home to take my dogs out and to play with them and let them socialize. And I slowly introduced my newborn son each and every day, slowly, because I didn't want to have my dogs running around and jumping on top of me, being excited. So back to familiarization. I slowly introduced my son to my Rottweiler so that way it's a safe environment for everyone and it can support what this whole video is about. Are Rottweilers good with children? And to sum this up, the answer is yes. However, you're going to have to take several steps to ensure that that can happen with familiarization and supervision. And with those two things right there, that can definitely play a major part in ensuring that your Rottweiler and your child is going to be good and in a safe environment. So with that being said, I would like to thank all y'all for watching, for supporting the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can get all the new alerts of all the new videos that's going to be coming up on this channel. Be on the lookout for more content coming. I'd like to thank you guys. Peace.